Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. I had some bad audio issues in the last game. So, this game, hopefully it's a lot better. I'm hopping back in on turn 87, and I'm playing the nation MA-Ermor. So, we found a magic site, which is a bit odd because I haven't been finding magic sites very often anymore, but this is a good one. It's Astral Air, and that was from my Fairy Queen site searching around. We have cast Transmute Fire, so I've got a bunch of fire gems I can spend. As opposed to before, I actually need them now in part to cover my upkeep. Though I will spend some of them on building a fort. We've summoned a Mound Fiend, so I'll show you why. Okay, real quick though. So they cleared the one dude off the fort. Right? Wasted a ton of mage turns. I took a province back from him. I took another province back from him. Unfortunately, these raiders get walloped. And then for events, we have not too much to look at. So, this is the group that he cleared off, that he was bringing out of his fort. So you see he's got a lot of Tartarians. Right? That one's still feeble-minded. This one isn't, so this one's ready to get... what you do when you are doing Tartarians, you summon them, and then once all their afflictions are gone, you cast Divine Name or Gift of Reason on them. So this one still has one or two left. He's blind. But doesn't matter when you're going to be dropping Rain of Stones, I think. This one's pretty sick, but he still has a ton of afflictions. So, yeah. Anyway, some big nasties here. And you can see I'm kind of positioned here, where I can kind of flex and go either way. That's a lot of Star Children, by the way. Let's see how many that is. Looks like about 60. Let's see how many it actually was. White Harbor. Yeah, 65. Plus more Tartarians. So this guy's a really good player, if you hadn't noticed, Rlyeh. I'm also going to... I don't know where Asphodel's capital is. Let me see if I can put the names on. I forget where the hotkey is for that. Here we go. Yeah, so I don't know where his capital is. Really, basically, it has to be back up in here somewhere. But I'd like to know. Anyway, I'm going to send a scout. What I'm starting to think, you can see I'm starting to move some even more troops to the right side of the map, like these guys are going that way, is I'm not going to have an outright victory against these guys, right? So my goal is kind of to stale over here. And I'm like, okay, well, if I keep staling, I'm probably going to lose. I mean, eventually I'm going to get some magic that's going to turn on. And then eventually I could get Underdark, but not really good. What I think I'm going to do instead is attack Asphodel, because I really countered him so well. All of his Sleepvine stuff, where he does the stun damage, does not affect undead. So I really am preventing like half the damage of his troops, kind of. And he does not have any counters to me. So anyway, I've got some good things going for me there. I'm going to start preparing for a battle on this front. I've got, you can see, a fair number of, a fair amount of undead, of sacred units. The other thing I'm doing is I'm basically pulling this army back. I don't really want to fight this huge army that I saw here that pulled these guys out. Like, I'm pretty worried I would lose. I do have this lady here, but I just don't have that many sacreds. Like, I only have 100, right? And they could potentially chew through them. So I'm kind of pulling back. I want to wait for... I forget what I have at Alteration 7. But I get Fog Warriors at Alteration 7, which would be a big bump. you can see I have my Fairy Queen down here, right? So the trick, though, is she can't cast it yet. I mean, technically she could cast it if she summoned a Storm, which I don't have researched, but I will. And then she does Storm Power, and then she casts Fog Warrior. But that would take a ton of gems, because I would have to overcast Storm so I don't get fatigued out. And then it would come in on turn 3. So that's not super ideal. Got a ton of air gems stored up anyway. Let's see. So that's basically it. Also, my Dominion's really high down here, so I'm going to be looking to start pulling the guys out from beneath and sending them up above. But that's basically the plan. Is I'm going to regroup. I'm going to kind of prepare if Nazca looks like Nazca's looking like they're not fighting anymore, so I'm going to prepare in case Nazca attacks me. And I think I've got. Let's see what I've got here. So you can see I've got a lot of, it's late here, I'm kind of yawning. I've got a lot of these dudes, so good things will come from that. Yeah, so that's really it for this turn. I'm going to go to the next turn. So that was 87, we're going to play 88 now. So we have a message from Asphodel. Sorry if it comes as a surprise, but like I said, when I first lost our war, I would bide time. And then Nazca had a few fairly brutal skirmishes, lost a lot of chaff and 1 FC. He lost 2 FCs and some mages. He offered a peace agreement, which cedes me several provinces, which I'm considering. So he's probably made peace, as I thought. We also have a Mountain King. So where are my Mountain Kings? Where are you at? So this is how I'm equipping them. This dude has a Scepter of Dark Regency, but really he just needs a Skull Staff. And these guys are super sick with a Heavy Bless, because they're holy. They're actually priests, so they can self-bless. They get Marble Armor, which is awesome on Undead, because they have cold resistance, so you don't have to worry about a cold malice. And then, do I have my little... And then I could put my little Ghost Hands, which give him temporary gems. He could cast Rigor Mortis. The real reason I need these guys, though, is not Rigor Mortis. It is to drop Drain Life. On top of these nasties. So this is the main reason why I retreated. Because this queen right here is going to do her nasty, horrible, devilish thing. Oh, that's really funny. That animal, like, attacked him. Anyway. Yeah, the nice thing about these monsters is they have a pretty good chance of blocking off one of the tiles so they don't get attacked by him. Anyway, you can see I get wrecked. He attacks here as well. So it's pretty smart I pulled back. I think in either of these provinces I had a good chance of losing. You can see he dropped a lot of gems. Slide of the Northern Star. I didn't even see everything he cast, but he's got Fog Warrior up. He's got Mass Regeneration. No, Mass Protection. I think he cast Doom too, but I'm not sure. But I think I saw Doom. But you can see he also took this province with a big army. Here is the army coming in here. So it's even bigger, right? This is the 60 Star Spawn army. I've just got some little chaff. See if we can soak up some of the... Yeah. So, one thing... Well, I'll go back and watch. One of the things that he's doing differently now is instead of big communions where they get fatigued out and all the slaves die, which I'm pretty... If I put enough chaff, his communion masters will kill his slaves. So, what instead he's doing is Light of the Northern Star... and then he's doing, like, Starfire. I don't know if you can see it coming out. Solar Rays, yeah. Which, Solar Rays is actually a pretty solid spell, especially when you have 60 dudes casting it. So that's pretty damn effective. Right? And there's a Gifts of Heaven. So you can see when you got it, these guys do eventually kind of fatigue out, but, yeah, you get some more mileage. What he will find, though, is that Rigor Mortis is still going to wreck this strategy, because once he gets one volley of Solar Rays out, they're still going to die, because they're going to get fatigued, and they're never going to unfatigue. One thing I think Rigor Mortis does is it doesn't give you too much fatigue per turn, but it prevents you from resting. So once your mages fatigue out, they don't get the rest 5 fatigue recovery. So it's very easy for them to kind of spiral into a slumber for the rest of battle. And here's where Asphodel attacked me. This big army he had up here, he moved down here and attacked. Which actually is nice, because in terms of diplomacy, it's always good being attacked. Like, I can tell, I really only have one ally now. But, you know, I can tell Scaleria and I can tell Nazca that he attacked me. Which is true, I was going to probably attack him anyway. Well, not probably, I was definitely going to attack him anyway. So attacked here and attacked here. Now, looking at this, he's almost definitely going to hop on top of this, right? And he's going to almost definitely hop on top of this. Now, the thing is, if we look, I've got a ton of dudes here. I've got 360. And if we look how many he has 440. So he's probably not going to break this in one turn, right? And he's probably going to break it in 2 turns. He does have potentially some really big beasties, especially in this army. Here, we'll look at it. Like, he has a lot of elephants. And these guys do siege for more. Like a lot more. So it's possible he could crack it. I don't think he will. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to attack here, right? And this will do a few things. I'm bringing in a big army with a lot of sacreds. That was the one I was talking about the turn before. He doesn't have many people here to defend it, so I'll bring enough troops to one turn crack it, right? From there, I can choose to siege it, or if I need to, I can come defend here. Meanwhile, I've got another big army that I moved into position. Whoops. That's going to be attacking them here, right? And this is also a big, nasty army with a lot of sacreds, right? So this army actually came from over here. I kind of pulled these back, anticipating either I would attack him or he would attack me. And so I'm going to attack them. And so next turn, which I will get to this episode, we will see the effects of my attack on Asphodel. Meanwhile, he's got a big army coming here, and I am not choosing to defend. In fact, I'm evacuating this. What I am choosing to do is to bring a good number of troops here, which I believe are going to be on move and patrol. So if he attacks me here, I'm going to fight him. And this will be a huge battle if he does attack. Anyway, so that is this turn. And so now we're going to, we did turn 87, 88, now we're going to turn 89. And again, I'm on turn 94 right now, so I kind of know how some of this is going to play out. So let's watch real quick. So we did not have a battle here. Instead, we had a battle here. Now, I sent some troops in to attack to bait out some gems, potentially, or to cover his retreat if he attacked. But unfortunately, he put this freaking water elemental who will never die to anything. We had a battle here. I believe I pulled troops back. This will probably just be a few chaff, right? Hopefully to bait out some gems, right? And it does not look like I'm baiting out very many. Yeah. That does not trigger gem use. I don't know if that army was too small to trigger gem use or if he changed his script. I do fight here, though, and he doesn't have this water elemental to run amok. So I will kill them. Unfortunately here, though, I will not kill this guy. So let's take a look at this. I think I had some sacreds coming here. No, this is just a chaff army. So yeah, he'll be able to wade through an infinite amount of chaff. Yeah. Unfortunate. Yeah. We could do that all day. So that's what we have. And you can see I've kind of pulled back. One of the really cool things about having huge swarms of undead is it's very difficult for him to tell, once I'm inside my fort, how many troops I have. Because he'll see the same graphic, and he'll also see my sacred units listed at the very bottom. So it'll say, I have some ghouls, I have some long dead, and then I have some lictors. And from the graphic, it looks like it's 95% ghouls. And he's like, okay, I may attack it. But he's a good player, so he knows probably that they're hidden in here. But in reality, you can see that I've got more than that. I've got like a few hundred lictors. Right, this actually is a really big army. So anyway, I'm patrolling here. These guys are moving up. Hopefully triggering a fight right here with Rlyeh, assuming he attacks with something. The thing that you'll see now is that I have these... So I have these guys who I moved up, who are some of my old Sorcerer of the Sands with disease. And I moved them up, A, because I want to get rid of their upkeep. And B, these are my highest upkeep unit that I have, right, at 116 a year. But B, I'm going to put them on sniping duty so that they can rain spells on top of their SC. Do I have... I thought I had some more mage support than that. Oh, I do. Okay. So I've got this dude, Rigor Mortis, Drain Life, Soul Vortex, and Vulnerability. So the idea, I put him close to the front. Hopefully he can spam some Drain Lives on this Queen of the Lake if she comes in and tries to attack me. Meanwhile, these guys are pulling back. Yeah. The other thing is, now that he's taken this fort, I think this is the first turn he's had this province. So he knows now that I've got like 3 Astral Pearls here, which he's going to want to keep. So it's very possible he just keeps his army on top of it, but we'll see. We also had a battle here with Asphodel, which... Let's see who brought more to the fight. So he brought a big army, right? He's got... These aren't... He doesn't have many mammoths, and the mammoths are the ones that hurt me. But I've got all my priests spamming Unholy Power, so these guys are going to be high attack. And let's see if we can kill this elephant. So that elephant did not die. Oh, there it goes. It dies in one round. Elephants you kind of need in critical mass. That way they don't get attacked on all sides at the same time. So you can see this really is kind of no contest. My Sacreds are getting into the mix now. Yeah, he got absolutely wrecked. I'm going to be continuing forward my push straight onto Bandarlog. I want to take this. It's probably still high income. I doubt it has Asphodel's Dominion on it. Probably has Ryleh's. We're going to send another force, which is smaller, but probably sufficient to kill these guys. And we're going to send another force, which I hope can kill these guys, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, you can see he jumped on top of my fort, and I jumped on top of his. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send these guys in, my chaff, to storm the castle. And hopefully that works. And then these guys, my elite units, right, they're going to come clear off the fort. Meanwhile, I'm sending a bunch more troops from other adjacent forts to attack on top of here to give me some kind of more chaff. If I were smart, I would have attacked here too, and that would have cut off our retreat. Problem with attacking here is you could defensively move this army onto here, which would be a smart thing to do. But probably still worth trying, especially since I could just send like one dude. Anyway, I do not do that. Instead, I do a chaff siege and everybody else attacking. And so we'll see that battle this turn. Hopefully I catch these guys. One thing. He broke my fort in one turn. Which I was not expecting him to, due to the amount of ghouls I had inside. So, while I would have probably liked to... I also took his fort. I would like to take his while he was sitting on top of mine, unable to take mine. But as you can see, he did take it. So I will need to defensively move. Other things, I've got a golem now that's pretty well kitted. I believe this turn I'm making an Axe of Hate. So my Pretender's making an Axe of Hate. I'm going to put it on this guy. This guy is going to now be on Super Combatant Killing Mode. Right, so I'm going to send him on top of Super Combatants, and hopefully he eats them for lunch. A Super Combatant geared for killing other Super Combatants is always fun. So I think that's it. We got research in Alteration 7, so I'm going to hop over and get up to Evocation 5. That'll allow me Shadow Bolt and some other things. Anything else? I've got more of these Mountain Kings that are coming out. So I think that's it for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.